Hi, today I'm going to talk about the chart of Britney Spears, and I'm mostly going to talk about the karma in order to understand the really extreme situation that she was put through. The South Node is where we begin to understand the karma, and here we see the South Node in Capricorn, okay, in the fourth house. So Capricorn shows us that this was a person who was hardworking, an achiever, putting their eye on the prize and getting there no matter what. And the ruler of the South Node is Saturn. And Saturn can be about loneliness and limitation, depression. This South Node lies in the fourth house, the house of family. Okay, now we see that Venus conjuncts this South Node. Interesting, right? Because Venus has to do with the arts and beauty, aesthetics. So we could say perhaps in a previous lifetime or many lifetimes, Britney Spears was an artist, a very hard-working artist. But Venus also represents, as the ruler of Libra, and in the South Node context, someone who was extremely accommodating, cute. Other people saw it like cute and nice and wanting everyone to get along well, and who kind of can be manipulated. When we want to fledge out the story and understand more about who this person was, in what context they were operating in, we look to the ruler of the South Node, and that is Saturn. And it's in the first house. So she was a leader of sorts. She was very much out there. You could not ignore her. But it's conjunct Pluto, okay? Now, this can have many meanings, but again, we're looking at the shadow, at what went wrong. And Pluto is like one of the planets that if you see intertwined with the nodal story, it can indicate nightmare, the god of hell in the underworld. Pluto is also about power and reclaiming your power, becoming your destiny in a way. But if it's in the South Node connection, it's indicative of something nightmarish. So someone taking away her power, or the fact that she could not handle her own power. She was done wrong by her family. Her father was the one who controlled her for 13 years and didn't, allow her even to see. She even needed his approval to see people that she wanted to. And he controlled her money. That is, she was considered mentally ill. But all that while, those 13 years, she was performing, she was going on tours, and she was putting out albums. And there were lots of people that were making millions of dollars off of her hard work. And she, didn't have any rights. And just thinking that your father is doing that to you. Now, in an audio tape that she put out at a certain point, I don't know when, but it's on the internet, she finally talked about what she had been going through, because no one really knew. She said that her heart was completely shut down and frozen. She had to make as if everything was fine and wonderful, and she kept on performing. So this Venus conjunct the South Node, I want to scream. But Venus, everything is wonderful. I'm fine. I want to make people happy, Libra. And inside, I'm just dead, right? So Capricorn South Node is that your heart is closed because you have to brace yourself for the winter, because Capricorn season is the middle of the winter. It's going to be hard, and you have to sort of just survive. That's why the North Node, which is our evolution, is our correction to all the things that went bad, is in Cancer, and Cancer is ruled by the heart. So people with Cancer North Node and Capricorn South Node, the great evolutionary goal for them is to soften, to allow themselves to feel and to cry, and to heal themselves. Now let's look at the transits that were going on at this time. Saturn was at 6 degrees of Virgo, squaring the Sun-Mercury conjunction case. Well, Saturn represents the law. Saturn represents limitation, constriction, obstacle. And going into the 12th house, the 12th house traditionally is the house of loss, of mental institutions. It's like, they wanted to put her away. They wanted to hide her, the father and his legal team, you're mentally ill. Just let's take you on the stretcher while all the paparazzi are, filming all of this, and hide you away. But still, Saturn, South Node in Capricorn, you're going to keep working, girl, you're going to keep performing. And even if you're a robot, whatever, put on your pretty face, keep making that money, This is enslavement. Like, I'm sorry, by the person who's supposed to protect you, your father. It's really sad. At the same time, transiting Pluto, which again is very strong in her karmic story, because Pluto in the natal chart conjuncts that Saturn. Okay, it's also kind of a nightmarish significator of collapse. Pluto also is about power, coming into your power, but if you don't do that, if you can't do that, someone else has power over you. And look at where Pluto is transiting. It's right there on Britney Spears' IC. The IC, as opposed to the MC, is where you come from. Okay, it's like your childhood, your tribe. It's the home you grew up in, and it's the most personal point in the chart. And Pluto was here just entering Capricorn. It was at 0 degrees and 11 minutes Capricorn. Okay, wow, this is so dark. This enslavement, I do call it enslavement, was going on for 13 years. When Britney finally, I'm not sure about the facts, I don't know how, but she couldn't, throughout those years, she wasn't allowed to choose her own lawyer. She didn't have anyone to represent her and be on her side, but finally she did have access and hired a lawyer of her choice. And within a very short time, she was freed, in 2021. And let's look at the transits, because this is really amazing to me. Transiting Pluto is right there, conjunct Britney Spears' south node of the moon. And Saturn was entering the 5th house. There is so much transformative energy here. And Pluto has to do with facing your wounds, but if you do face them and you really feel them, it's very hard to have a Pluto transit, but it can be extremely liberating, because essentially Pluto is about healing. When you're healed, you can claim your power back. You know yourself better. You're a more healthy person, and these people put her through hell. But her north node, which has to do with the moon, the feelings, and taking care of yourself, was being triggered at that time. Obviously, Pluto comes along, nothing is going to be the same when Pluto transits over your either north or south node. Okay, and that's when she was freed of this horrendous conservatorship, right? And as I think I already mentioned, that Saturn was going into the 5th. So this is kind of a happy ending. I don't know what's going on with Britney at the present time, which is 2023. But wow, what a path, what a rise to stardom from such an early age, then being literally imprisoned by so many people, and then her liberation. So she paid a high price for her freedom, but in the end she was freed. So I hope she can find some happiness, and regain her well-being. She deserves that. Okay, see you next time.